That has been the talking point for so many Nigerians from across all sectors, talking about the President's latest appointment. Joining us to look at all of that is the National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress, Lai Mohammed. Good morning and thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
The issue about the appointment, which your party, in the first place, we got stories about the APC not being too happy about these appointments in some online media. Perhaps this is the time for some people to get clarity on that. Is the APC surprised?
No, I think the APC is perfectly happy with these appointments. I read also online that some APC leaders who chose to remain anonymous expressed dissatisfaction, but I can tell you that the rank and file of the APC is 100% behind the president, on the issue of these appointments.
So are you saying the party's national chairman that was quoted as saying the party will be more involved in other appointments of the president? That statement is not true.
No, more involved is a different thing from not being unhappy. I read the full statement of the national chairman of my party, and what he said was that, you see, these are personal stuff. It's too early in the day to, make to make a judgment. You do not take part to be the whole, and that in future, that clearly future appointments will be different. The party will have more, but this one are actually personal staff. That's what the president.
Let's take it from the comment of talking about personal staff, and some have come to say this also would have been an opportunity for the president to tell Nigerians that truly he's nationalistic, he's a national leader, if knowing full well that his core staff, which we can also call his personal staff, can be chosen from regions other than his own region. That would have made a big statement to the country, but he missed out on that.
I don't agree with Sulaiman. I have been a chief of staff with all sense of humility, and as chief of staff, I was the first person the governor saw in the morning and the last person he saw at night, almost on a daily basis. As chief of staff, I was the link and the bridge between his personal life and his public life. So you cannot just choose anybody from any part of the country for that kind of job. There must be that, relationship between you and your principal.
Which must be personal.
Absolutely. When I was chief of staff, I could walk straight to the bedroom of my principal because it has been built over time. Now, you see, people don't understand that even the word chief of staff actually means chief of personal staff. And even the oath of office of the chief of staff is to the president and not to the nation, as opposed to the oath of office of ministers and other people. That shows the personal nature of this particular position.
That's the chief of staff.
Good.
But what about the secretary to the government of the federation?
Secretary to government is the secretary to council and secretary to the cabinet, and to a large extent, is also somebody you can work with. This is the truth of the matter.
Because I don't know if you were privy to, you say that people were entitled to their opinions, but it would seem that people already had ideas of how appointments should go. So when President Buhari won the election, there were already calculations. Oh, he won the election. The vice president is from the southwest. Oh, we don't know who the Senate president will be. We don't know who the speaker will be. But there were calculations as to where these people would come from and how this would affect the balance, of the country. And when they found out that none was going to go to the southeast, then they began to, have permutations that perhaps the position of the SGF could go to the southeast as some sort of compensation, as that at least is an appointed position, but only for this appointment to come out, and lo and behold, it wasn't coming there at all.
I'm happy you use the word permutations and calculations. I think I've seen at least 3 or 4 different lists of would-be ministers, all based on permutations and calculations. Now, those permutation calculations are the permutation calculations of individuals and not of the party or of the president himself. And I'm very, impressed and, happy about statements credited to Dr. Onu, and who said that the president even took him into confidence before the announcement of the Secretary of Government and assured him that, listen, what is this hula-bolu about, Secretary of Government? It's not the kind, my own Secretary of Government will not be the kind of Secretary of Government like before. It's not going to be a place where, rackets and, all kinds of contracts are going to, or bazaar, a contract bazaar. But it is going to be strictly, Secretary to Government, Secretary to Cabinet. And that he believes that there are other more important roles that even can be given to any other person, including the Southeast.
So the president
but
then,
I think
if he did give that statement, it means that the president then was conscious of these permutations, and perhaps it did have some influence, and maybe that's why you had to take him into confidence so that there is no offense taken anywhere.
No, of course that will be between the president and Dr. Onu. That is assuming that that story is correct. But I'm saying that there should be no fixation at all on any particular office going to any particular part of the country. The fact that it went to a particular part of the country in the present administration does not mean it must go there again. But I think what we should focus on is that is the assurance from the government that in the fullness of time, no part of this country will feel marginalized by the kind of appointments that will be made. But if a president is going to make 500, 1,000 appointments, many of them important also, I think it's too early to judge this government on 35 or 40 that they made so far. I think some of these 35 you are complaining about, that will be explained, some we inherited, some we appointed, some, we didn't really probably even have too much of a choice.
Well, Alhaji, I'm sure your party is very, very conscious of, social media, because you have more than on one occasion, talked about the influence of social media. In fact, in some of your statements, you have acknowledged their influence, or their role in taking certain decisions as the voice of the people. And you know that this buzz has been on social media for a time. Do you think that this could influence your party in terms of some of the decisions, especially perhaps with even ministerial appointment? Maybe they're trying to suggest to you that these are the kinds of people that they'd like to see in certain positions. Do you think that could be?
As much as we are going to be a very responsive, government, and we are going to listen to all, views and opinions, clearly it won't be stampeded by any section or any opinion to take a decision which clearly does not, fit into our own vision. Yes, we respect all views, we respect all opinions, we listen to them, we consider them, but I do not think that we would be slave to any particular opinion. No.
So much that needs to be cleared. Explain to the people looking at the appointments. Even though you said, well, we shouldn't be talking about where the person is from. A case in point is also the post of the Comptroller General of Customs, which some find very disturbing. They think that the president would have been able to, from among the rank and file of the Nigerian Customs Service, found someone that should have been elevated to the post of a Comptroller General of Customs.
You see, Mr. President, by being the president, probably has a more holistic picture of the situation than all of us. We all have pieces and bits. Mr. President receives reports every day. Mr. President has access to information many of us don't have. And he has probably diagnosed, the problem in custom and says, look, I think I need somebody whose very presence is going to instill discipline in this department. That if I bring somebody who has, a track record of being corruptible. But that is what I need there. I think we should also give Mr. President, the benefit of the doubt. And let's see how these appointees, how they perform. But to go ahead and judge these appointments as being wrong or being improper, I think it's not the best way. But I think Mr. President must have his very good reasons to have appointed, Colonel Ahmed to go ahead customs.